Your letter's come through, you've got yourself a medical school interview. Yes! Congratulations. Well, you might be thinking, I made it, I've got my medical school interview, things are going great, but a little bit of you might be slightly dreading it, thinking, oh my god, this is my one chance, I really hope I don't blow it. Today we're going to be talking about 5 medical school interview mistakes to avoid to help you bag your place at medical school. Let's get into it. So guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new around here, then welcome. My name's Sarah, I'm a doctor in the UK, and I make videos about my life as a doctor and what I get up to in my free time. I have loads of vlogs about life as a doctor, so head on over to my vlogs after this and check them out. You'll be able to see what a day in the life of a doctor is really like. If you enjoy this video, then make sure you hit the thumbs up button and subscribe if you'd like to see more of my videos. First mistake to avoid is not rereading your personal statement before you go to your interview. When you get your letter through, it's really exciting. You just want to dive right in and go to your medical school interview. You feel like you've done all the prep work because you have spent so long on your application. Well, you need to just push yourself to do that little bit more prep. The best thing you can do is to reread your personal statement. Make sure you are very familiar with all of the things you've written in there and reflect on those things, because the interviewers are going to be asking you about things specifically from your personal statement, and you want to have a polished answer ready and lined up. The chances are on the day of the interview you're going to stumble over your words, you're going to forget things. That's absolutely normal and no one is going to judge you for that. But the thing that you can be well prepared for is knowing your own story and knowing exactly why you're applying to medical school, why the medical school should accept you, and reflecting on past experiences that you've had. Mistake number 2 to avoid is wearing uncomfortable clothes. Now, I think a lot of medical school interviews are going to be done via Zoom this year, but nevertheless, wearing uncomfortable clothes could make or break your interview day. The last thing you want to be thinking about is this top too tight? Is my skirt riding up? You want to be able to focus and be present on the day and answer the questions without fidgeting and being uncomfortable and thinking about other things. It goes without saying that you want to look the smartest you possibly can, be more polished than you even think you should be, but the main tip here is to wear comfortable, smart clothes. I actually remember wearing my interview outfit around the house a few times before my medical school interview, just to make sure that I was comfortable walking around in it and that it wasn't making me feel funny. Just to make sure that I was comfortable sitting in it, walking around in it, and that I could wear it all day, because medical school interviews can be a long day. Mistake number 3 to avoid is not talking to the other candidates. The chances are you'll be brought to your medical school interview with a load of other candidates, and you will be put in a room together before and maybe even after your interviews. This is a really great opportunity to talk to other medical school applicants. You might be really nervous, but be the person that breaks the ice. Make everyone else feel comfortable. It will really get your vocal cords working, ready for your interview, and it will make you feel less nervous. On the day of my medical school interview, I can still remember pretty much exactly who was there with me, and we really enjoyed chatting to each other. And I got into medical school, and then when we actually started the course, it was great to be able to have a few friendly faces that I could just go up to people and break the ice and say, hey, we were at the same interview day, do you remember? And yeah, so I am that person that will do that. It honestly makes you feel better, less nervous, and more confident on the day. Tip number 4 is similar to tip number 1. The mistake is not preparing. So spend a good amount of time thinking about things that they might ask you. You can very easily Google medical school interview questions and loads of examples will come up. Obviously the list isn't going to be exhaustive because the medical school will think of new questions every year, and that's okay, but there will be things that come up year after year. For example, one of the questions that they will often ask is, tell me about a time when X. It will be things like working as a team, doing well on your own, faced a difficult conversation, when you've seen a difficult conversation happen between a patient and a healthcare worker. It's a really good idea to have some things lined up for these kind of questions. Now, when you're actually answering these questions, you don't want to just tell them about the time. You don't want to just tell the story and that be the end of your question. The whole point of this exercise and these questions in the interview are to see that you're a reflective person, that you learn from your experiences, and that you're going to be a personable doctor. I have a video about medical school interview tips, so definitely check out that video if you want to go into a bit more detail about this. And I also have a personal statement video, which, although you've already written and submitted your personal statement, if you're watching this when I'm releasing it, it is a useful video to have a look at, to think about how to structure things. So if you want to structure your reflective answer well when they ask you a question about tell me about a time when ... there's a really good example on the Medic portal, and they recommend a technique called the STAR method. STARR. S is for situation, so you highlight what happened, you tell a bit of the story. T is for task, what was actually involved at that time. A is for action, and that's how you approached and actually performed the task. R is for result, what was the outcome, what was the achievement of that experience. And the other R is for reflection, what did you learn from the experience and how will you apply that. Something important to do at the final R is to talk about what you went on to learn about. So how did you actually learn? What did you read? Can you give any examples of resources? You could cite the GMC website, you could cite other things that you have read after this to help you reflect on that experience. Mistake number 5 is blagging. Do not blag. Do not make up answers. Do not try and make yourself look better than you are. The interviewers want to see who you are as a person. Please don't try and come across as arrogant. Please don't try and build yourself up more than you really are. Yes, it's your chance to shine, and it is the chance to show off your best qualities, and you want to be confident and shining as the bright superstar that you are, but don't make things up. It will be obvious and you probably will get caught out. If you get asked a question that you don't know the answer to, then just be honest. Either ask them to repeat the question or say, I'm sorry, I don't know the answer to that one this time, and ask them to move on. They want to know that you're an honest person, and they want to know that you're going to be an honest doctor. They don't want a doctor that's going to blag to their patients. If a patient asks me a question that I don't know the answer to, I am always honest and I say, I don't know the answer to that, but I can help you find out and come back to you. That's the kind of person that they want becoming a doctor and going to their medical school. Don't make things up. A final bonus mistake to avoid is not answering the question that they've actually asked. Really try and focus on the question that they've asked you. Again, you will be nervous in the interview, and that is fine. Take it slow, take a couple of deep breaths. If they've asked you the question and your mind's gone blank and you don't know, again, just ask them to repeat it. They will not mind, and try to incorporate their question into your answer. So if, for example, they asked you a question along the lines of, tell me about a time when you worked really well in a multidisciplinary team in healthcare, then you didn't hear the question correctly, you were feeling really nervous, you can ask them to repeat it. And then once they've repeated it, try and incorporate that into your answer, saying, for example, a time I have worked well in the multidisciplinary team in healthcare is ... and then use the STAR method to answer the question really effectively. So guys, those are my tips. Number 1, not rereading your personal statement before the interview. Number 2, wearing uncomfortable clothes. Number 3, not taking the chance to talk to the other candidates. Number 4, not preparing. Number 5, blagging. Number 6, not answering the question. Guys, avoid these mistakes and you will breeze through your medical school interview. And I just want to say, well done for getting that interview. If you're watching this video, you probably received that letter or that email, so congratulations on getting that. There's a huge achievement in itself. Let me know down in the comments which universities you've applied for, and maybe in the comments you guys can start chatting to each other and hearing about your interview experiences. Give this video a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it, and make sure you're subscribed to see more of my videos. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!